Hello there. Nick Diaz versus Michael Bisping. I'm going to try and keep this video short. A lot of times when I make videos, I make really long videos, but I'm going to make a real short one. What I think would happen if these two fought, should they fight? I don't think that they should fight. First of all, Nick is not a 185-pound fighter. If he's going to fight someone at 185, Michael Bisping is. This could be a very entertaining fight, but just because they're both known for standing, throwing a lot of punches, it really could be an entertaining fight, and probably will be if they fight. However, I'm a Nick Diaz fan. I think it's more probable that Nick would lose this fight, just because Michael Bisping is a 185-pound fighter, and Bisping is just coming off that fight with Anderson, which is really going to boost his confidence. He was in shape for that fight, guys. For 185 pounds, he was moving around his head. He is moving like he's 145. He had a gas tank for days, and that's one of Nick's strong points, that he would gas guys out. But we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that in 5-6 years. All that Strike Force stuff. That's 6-7 years ago, man. That's a long time ago. And in that time frame, Nick has been retired, getting caught drinking and driving, so I don't think he's not in that beast mode anymore, unfortunately. I really think Nick should just fight somebody mid-tier, kind of like Nate fought Michael Johnson, had a great performance, and then came in against Conor McGregor. Said he was rusty, but he just fought Michael Johnson not that long ago. If you're rusty after, just a handful of months, imagine, you're rusty after taking years off like Nick. Or whatever, years, whatever amount of time. I don't even know. It's not years, but a long time. You know what I mean? Saying this fight, like, it's not going to happen next week, right? It could potentially even be a year from now if they were to fight. Who even knows? But I think it's a bad fight for Nick. Could he win? Yeah, it could be a very entertaining fight. But, man, I just want to see Nick win a fight. He has not won a fight since BJ Penn. That's over 5 years ago. That's got to be over 5 years ago since Nick Diaz has won a fight. And, he looked rusty against GSP. Nick did surprisingly look pretty good against Anderson, but he didn't look serious about trying to win that fight. I do think he'd be a little bit more serious about trying to beat Michael Bisping, but I don't know. I still think it's a bad fight for Nick. I think Bisping's a bigger guy. He's been fighting. He's been more active. Nick really should come in, take a warm-up fight against somebody. I know he wants the big fights, but take a warm-up fight against somebody, and then have a bigger fight after that. That's what I think should happen. They're not going to do that. They'll probably just throw him in there, but that's why he's losing. That's why he's losing these fights, because against GSP, he was, even after the GSP fight, Nick is like, now I feel like fighting. Well, yeah, because you haven't been fighting and you're rusty. Now you feel warmed up because, there's a lot, the ring rust is not so much that you're rusty with your skills because you're training. It's you're in the ring in front of a bunch of people, and then it's an actual fight. It's just everything's different. When Nick was in Strike Force, he was fighting very often, and he was on point. He would come in his next fight, first round, right out the gate, and it was like he was still in the last fight. His punches were just perfect. He didn't have to find his rhythm or anything like that guys talk about, and it's not like that anymore for him. He's going long times without fighting, and that's why he's not winning. So I think this is a bad fight for Nick. I think Bisping would win the fight. And I really don't want to see that. I don't want to see Nick lose to Michael Bisping, that's for sure. But it could potentially be a great fight. I just think it could be a better fight if Nick would fight somebody else first. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.